Hello, my name's Steve Milton and this is a short presentation that we call Eileen and the Grit Bin. Now, some respected commentators are saying that by 2031 demand for adult social care services will have increased to such an extent that it consumes most of the council's budget, leaving far less for things like libraries, street cleaning, refuse collection, roads and buses. Now at present, through prudent management, the council has protected its services, but there are some tough choices on the horizon. So the question is, how can we do more and increase resources in times of austerity? Well, let's meet Eileen and Bill. Eileen is 87 years old. She lives in her own home with support from her family and neighbours, who lend a hand with gardening, shopping, transport and gritting her path when it gets icy. And here's Bill. Bill was diagnosed with dementia in 2007. He lives at home with support from his wife Carolyn. He goes to the Forget-Me-Not Centre twice a week, and this gives Carolyn the break she needs to help her keep going. And this is really important because Bill and Eileen are able to live independently with help from relatives, neighbours and volunteers, and they don't depend on the council. And in fact, most social care is provided freely in this way at no cost to the state, and this is sometimes called social capital. So by increasing social capital, we can reduce demand for public expenditure. But how can we increase social capital? Well, we've already seen social capital at work in Wiltshire. There are 300 volunteers now trained and working in Wiltshire's libraries, enhancing services and saving the council over £500,000 every year. And there are 300 volunteers now operating community speed watch schemes, reducing speeds and saving lives all over the county. And without these volunteers, we couldn't provide those services. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Communities are leading the way right across the county. There are first responders schemes, job clubs, stroke clubs, sports clubs, local history groups, farmers markets, cooperatives, play groups, arts groups, youth clubs, and there are memory cafes, link schemes, car clubs, lorry watch, flood wardens, neighbourhood watch schemes. There are street pastors, village halls, community choirs and almshouses, and of course there are hundreds more. And these are volunteer-led services, so let's look at a couple more. The Shurston Footpath Group look after the paths in the village. They've written a guide and the local doctor now prescribes the walks for people with high blood pressure. And the Crosspoint Centre in Westbury is a voluntary group providing daycare support and advice for the most vulnerable members of the local community. And this really does matter, because these voluntary groups raise their own money. They don't depend on public funding. And the things that they do really work. And with support and encouragement, communities can start up and run their own successful projects just like these. And this increases social capital and helps to drive down demand for public resources. But how can we push this further? Well, we can really help by linking up community groups, by bringing people together, by sharing information and by lending a helping hand. And we can showcase some of these really great projects, and this will inspire others to give it a go. And we can connect those who run successful projects with those who want to start their own. And at the Wiltshire Assembly, Cormac Russell called this asset-based community development. Councillors, parish councils, local groups, services, partners, we can all help to make this happen. But we have to reach out beyond our meetings into communities, at events, fairs, fetes, schools, shopping centres, places where people come together. And there we can showcase things that will inspire people to get involved. And we can get on with that this year. So how do we make this happen? Well, we are working to hardwire our local partnerships through the Community Campus programme. And we can get out into places where people come together. And we will work with those who have set up successful projects and encourage them to inspire others to follow the lead. And we will work to get resources online to help people create new projects so that we can help more people like Eileen and Bill. Thank you for listening to this presentation.